Hey y'all, what's up? It's your girl Brittany, baby. We are back. We are back. We are better with another video. Make sure y'all subscribe to the channel, like the video, click the bell to be notified of every time I post, because I do post frequently. All right, y'all, say it with me collectively. We are jumping, we are skipping, we hopping, we leaping, we doing it. Deggy bow, or deggy yow into this video. Click the link down in my description box below to become a paid member on my Patreon. All right, y'all, without further ado, let's get into this video. Hey, y'all, so this is the video I was telling y'all about in my review recap of the last episode of Baddies. So in the episode, I was basically explaining to y'all in the review that it was something that I had on my chest when it came to Natalie. I felt as though I cracked the code to understand why Ivory is so mad at Natalie. And not only that, why she feels some type of way about the whole moving the room situation. Like, why it's taking her 3-4 episodes and she's still talking about it, and she's talking about it on live, how she's saying that she's gonna get Natalie. Now, of course, like, watching it, you like, it's not that deep, it's not that big of a deal, but no. So the way I came up with this hypothesis all started from the audition. So if y'all remember, at the audition, Natalie felt as though she was on her highest horse. Obviously a conversation was had that she wasn't going to be fighting no more. And that was a promise, The audition, Natalie was talking out the side of her neck to them girls. And she just felt like she was bigger, she was better. She was talking to some girl, and I think it's the girl that Mariah ended up fighting, but it was the wrong girl. And Natalie was like, I come to Detroit comfortable. Ain't nobody gonna touch me. All this, all that. Now, let me just add this in there. This don't have nothing to do with that. But yes, you do move comfortably, but at the same time, y'all know the girl who stole her stuff allegedly seen her in the club and was like, hey, Nat. And the girl like, she don't even know who I am. So moving comfortably is illusion, because if you just going through the club, I mean, you don't always have Zues. Like, I'm sure she always has security, but not a whole football field of security. I'm sure she got like 3 with her, but they heads is gonna be on a swivel so much. And 2, if you waving to the fans and stuff like that, you're not necessarily looking at these people. You just waving, trying to get wherever you trying to get to, or whatever the case is, because you want to feel like a star. You don't want to come in through the back. You want to come in through the front, through the crowd. And, with that, like I said, like, safety is an illusion. Safety, or, I move comfortably is an illusion, because if you out and somebody want that, they need that, they gonna find a way to make that happen. Now, is they gonna be able to complete that goal every time? No. But you see, you're not as untouched as you think you are. So I'm going to add that in there. Just because the girl was so close to her and she was like, hey, Natalie. Natalie, you could tell, probably didn't even look at that girl for 2 seconds, waved her hand and moved on. But that just lets you know that you're not as untouchable as you think. Safety is an illusion. Okay, but back to the whole Ivory thing. So at the audition, she ended up asking the girls that was there to fight Ivory. Mind y'all, when Ivory came in, I think Asian dog was like, big Ivory. And Natalie wasn't impressed. Like, you could see her rolling her eyes or kind of giving like a look of like, she ain't nobody. And basically in that, she kind of wasn't stunned Ivory like that. You could tell it was like an undertone, in my opinion, in her attitude once Ivory came. Now, that's my opinion. So, boom, she ended up asking the other ladies who was there to fight Ivory. She was like, any of y'all want to go up with her? Nobody said anything, because all these girls seen Ivory on TV. They knew how Ivory was coming. So didn't nobody want to fight her. So she like, don't none of y'all want to fight her? Ain't none of y'all going to get no ticket? Daughter this, daughter that. So one of the girls stepped up they fought. Ivory took her. You know what it was. So to me, that was the starting line of like, you don't really care for Ivory like that. And two, it just, in my opinion, it gave, you wanted to let her know she's not on her high horse like that. Like, girl, boo. You know, you're not all that. Okay, the second thing is the whole room situation. You didn't mind it being Big Lex and Ivory. Like, yes, if we really going the overall season, they are like the two girls that everybody still is watching for. No shade. Like, Summer, everybody, you know, I've been told y'all, but everybody now starting to understand Summer is annoying and she do too much. And, you know, she's a key, but she also is a bully. You know, that the storyline with Biggie and Jaden is very dry. Dolly is being security. You know, so everybody, Jazz is there being born. So everybody's really tuned in because of Ivory and Lex. Everybody want to see them get down. So with you changing the names, you didn't change nobody else's name in there. Mind you, you see Lex is a puppet on the screen when it comes to Natalie. Natalie knew that. Now, do I believe Ivory is kissing ass? No, I don't. And you wanted a show, but you picked those two girls in particular to give you a show. You didn't pick Jazz and Summer. You didn't pick Dolly and Pretty P. You intentionally went to Ivory and Lex for them to have an issue. So once again, that's my second example of her picking. You picked Ivory. Well, Ivory's name was on the door, but you brought Lex's name to the door. And with that, you didn't bring Summer, knowing that she, you know, her and Summer had a little issue. You didn't bring Summer. You didn't bring Jayla. Well, I know Jayla went in the house, but what I'm saying is you intentionally picked Big Lex's name because you knew at that point Big Lex was a puppet on the screen for you. That's just my opinion. But Jayla and Anna said Big Lex behind the camera wanted to be buddy, but in front of the camera she was ready to put on a show, and she picked this up from her homegirl Summer. So mind you, I'm sure Natalie picked that up. But too, Lex, you see, is very quiet. She's not disrespectful. She's not really loud. She more so get in there when she about to fight. But other than that, she's not doing all that. And I definitely believe that Natalie picked that up and chose Lex because she was like, oh, well, this is where the fights are going to be. And mind you, Ivory had already came from Now That's TV, and she was the heaviest hitter on Now That's TV. So it looks better for your network, for your movement, to keep seeing the heaviest hitter get beat down. Hope that makes sense. Mind you, and not only that, because, you know, we've picked up that Ivory is sensitive, but I also feel as though Ivory feels that she was being picked on because, like I just gave y'all, the whole audition thing and this particular situation. And not only that, stuff could have been happening in the background for her to be lingering this out like it is. But I believe she picked up that they kept wanting her to fight. And with them wanting her to fight, she knows that she's not beating the girl. She know that. And they not putting her in situations to fight people where she beating them up. They put her in situations where she's getting whooped. So I think she started picking that up because, as y'all know, before they got to fighting about that room situation, they was already fighting back to back to back. So it seems as though they had got cool for a little while off the screen. Because remember, she said something to Big Legs about coming into Pretty P City or whatever, something like that. They had got cool for a little minute. Then they had got back into it because Ivory was like, this my city, wherever they was that Lex was at. So once she said that, Natalie then was like, oh, well, let me move the room thing. And Ivory like, you keep wanting me to fight this girl. If I'ma fight her when I want to fight her, but you're not finna keep orchestrating stuff for me to fight. Hopefully that makes sense to y'all to where y'all can see my point. And my third example is them bringing Mel. So obviously, in my opinion, Ivory was targeted from the beginning. She didn't know. She didn't know, Sway. She didn't know. So the only reason why I added Mel in this, and yes, like, we're rooting for Mel. We wanted Mel to be on Baddies Gone Wild, whatever. But I say that because they had never did that. They had never brought, even if Mel was cutting up, they didn't even put it in there. So with y'all not putting it in there, how are y'all going to transfer her into the show? Because she's not a replacement or returning baddie. She's not any of those things. So how are y'all going to add her in? And mind you, they didn't do this when Diamond got kicked by Pretty P's sister. They could have easily transitioned Pretty P's sister onto baddies because she kicked Diamond. But because Mel has a following, Mel and Ivory already had beef. And yes, on the episode, she insinuated that they had beef, but it ain't like she went into detail and was like, I got beef with this girl on another network. I've been whooping her. Like, she just said that she got ops around and she got to keep her head on a swivel. But with y'all adding Mel into it, it definitely is giving Ivory was targeted, and Ivory basically didn't stand a chance in the beginning of Baddies. So now, to me, it makes sense for her to be going on these rants, because it's like, why am I getting, quote unquote, special treatment? Why is it y'all always highlighting me? Whether it be, and yes, they want her to fight, but once again, whole season she been getting whooped. Not whooped all the way. They been getting in there, but most of the time, Lex is winning. Like, let's just be for real. Lex is winning most of the time. We really looking at it. Lex is tearing Ivory up. Not in the rub, black eyes. That girl has yet to have anything on her when it comes to Ivory. So, like I said, and then they brought Mel. Now, Mel was supposed to do her big one because of the whole piss situation, but she had already let it be known she did not do her big one, Sway. She did not do it. So, they kind of, at the end, let her redeem herself for the season, because it's like, you been getting beat up all season, or you haven't been winning all season, so we're going to bring this girl in, and maybe Mel was supposed to win. Because the pit situation was so big, we were rooting for Mel to win and go over there and really take Ivory through there. But that didn't happen. So then we started rooting for her to be on a show. So those are my opinions, because of the examples that we got from the audition, the show, and what we know so far about Mel coming and what Mel told us. So in my opinion, I do believe that Ivory did not stand a chance in the Baddies house early on. And maybe, mind you, Big Lex did fight at the audition. Maybe, they didn't know that was going to happen. Maybe, I don't know. I don't know if Lex sent them audition tape to show, like, hey, she really got them things, or what. I don't know. But I believe once they seen that, they had did so many rounds before they got to the room situation, they seen like, oh, okay, basketball girl got some hands on her. And Ivory is not that same cocky person that she usually is. And, to be honest, we had never seen this side of Ivory. And then I'm going to add this on to it, too. Ivory was on live with her sister. This is once we seen Baby Tyson get with Jazz on Valley Girls. And Jazz came on there trying to cop please, like, girl, boo, you lost, whatever. Ivory had said, and mind you, I'm paraphrasing. She had said something like, I never called myself a heavy hitter. Y'all gave me that title. Y'all made it seem like I couldn't lose. I promise you, as long as I've been doing reviews, keeping up with the girls, I had never heard Ivory say that. Nothing of that sort. If anything, is I parked you, I walked you down, I mopped you in there, tore you up, tore you down. I remember on South Central Baddies when she got defined with them girls, but we know now it was Lori. She was like, I go everywhere comfortable. I go everywhere by myself. I ain't scared of none of y'all. Doubt of this, doubt of that. But now, because we seeing you not win these fights, you like, oh, I wasn't mad enough. You making excuses. I wasn't mad enough, they just started doing stuff, and I'm just like, keep it organic. And I followed her back the room because I told her to get out, and she came back. Like, I've seen Ivory fight for less. I've seen her be smiling and then just go off on somebody. Like, be for real. You're not mad enough. And not only that, like, to an extent, I do believe this is somewhat of her karma. She thought she was going to go over there and hit the all I do is win, win, win. Oh, we don't like him. We're boycotting him. But she thought she was going to win over there. And they wasn't having it. And it didn't work like that in her favor. Which a lot of times when these TV girlies go transition over, it don't work in their favor. Diamond was just a lucky one, and she studied her audience, she knew marketing, and she knew her crowd. Now, is we gonna be stuck her next season? I don't know, because DTB just was not given for me this season. But really, that's all I got for y'all. Y'all let me know y'all thoughts. I just kind of wanted to explain to y'all where my head was, where my thinking was, and let me know, do y'all feel the same, or do y'all think it's a stretch? I'm gonna see y'all in the next one. Bye.